Hello everyone. I'm going to pour a tray today. This tray is rather odd and it has a weird looking maple leaf. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Hello everyone. This is Billie. Welcome to Billie Holman Creations. Now I know exactly what kind of tray this is and what kind of leaf this is. And what I want to do is it has a border area and then an indent part for a bigger tray, smaller indents for, like, I would think a jar, whatever else you need, papers maybe. Anyhow, I think this outer edge here, the border edge, will take about 8 ounces. I'm completely guessing. So let me mix that resin up and I'll let you see what we're going to do with it. Okay, I went ahead and I mixed up 8 ounces here of Bond Crafters A and B 1-to-1 part resin. Now it's bubbly. I just used my hand mixer. And since I mixed it in 1 cup, I'm going to go ahead and pour it in this second cup here. I thought it was clean. Because I'm going to put it in my brand new Resiners debubbling machine, and I don't want it going over the edges. You just saw my one of my previous videos. I'm going to hopefully not go overboard, but let me tell you, Donna from Resin Mama, she commented with a great point. She said, now when you watch your bubbles starting to get too high in your cup when you're using your Resiners debubbling machine, rather than pause it like I did, just open your escape valve there and then your bubbles will go down. And if you keep an eye on it that way, you'll have more success than I do, or I did on that one. So thank you, Donna. I will put her link to her channel in my description box. So I'm just going to put a little alcohol in here and I'll wipe it out shortly. Okay, so got my bowl, but we're going to add glitter to that. I'm just going to stir it a little more. Make sure I've got all of that mixed. And before I get resin all over my gloves, I want to take some gold leaf. Now this is a big sheet. I can't remember where I got this, but I think of course it was probably Temu. There's one. Now if I can just carefully with these tweezers just grab that piece, I'm going to dump it right in there. And I think one's going to be enough, because I'm going to add some of this very old gold glitter I have, and this was from a what I want to say, a thrift shop, and it's just medium-sized flakes. I put tape over the top so it wouldn't spill, or they did. I forgot to open it, so let's get this off of here. I'm going to shake some into this, and I'm going to hurry because this room is warm. I discovered earlier this year that the duct vents to the furnace and or the air conditioner are not hooked up in this room, so it's either going to be too hot or too cold. Let's just sprinkle some in there. Maybe that's a teaspoon or a little over. Oh, it could be a tablespoon. Whoa. That's why they taped it. Let me mix that in. Break that up. I don't want it solid. I just want it to show through the border. Flakes are going to clump up big. Let me put another sheet in that. Got tape on me already. Let's get one more sheet. Put it in that. And then I'm going to debubble it. Should tear all these extra sheets off of here. Here we go. Everywhere it goes, everywhere it goes. There we are. Alright. I'm going to give that a quick stir. Get that out of my way. And I will be right back when this is debubbled. And all we need to do is pour. Just wanted to show you, there's quite a few bubbles in there yet, but I might give it a few more minutes. That was 5 minutes, so let me get back to a few more minutes. Well, that looks a lot better. So that was 10 minutes, and I mixed for 5. Since it's warm in here, I'm going to get cracking. Now, this is my last bit of clear glue, and I'm just going to put a skosh in here, just a little on my stick, because I would like it to float some and not just lay completely on the bottom, because then I don't think any clear would show through. But I'm mixing that up. There, it's getting pretty gooey. Look at that. Okay, I'm just going to try to neatly pour around the edge with this. And I didn't say, I got this mold from Temu. Now, I can look up, whoa, that's going to be like boogers. I can look up the Temu links. I'm trying to talk and think for you. And if you go into my description box, I have discount codes for Resiners, Bond Crafters, Let's Resin, quite a few discount codes. So you might want to check that out. Whoa, there's going to be a big glob. I made so much resin. What am I going to do with this? I was just trying to eyeball it. It'd have poured better if it wasn't so thick. And I just want to get just to the top of those tray pieces there. Oh, Billy, there's a big old glob's gonna pop right out. Can you see that over there? I don't know if you can see me all the way over here to the side. And I've got this on my Costco trays. These are cookie sheets. They come with a lid, and there's 2 sizes. I've had these forever. And what I want to say is the lid is really nice to have, and I have a silicone mat down, and when I put this on my heating mat, I think the metal of the cookie sheet helps, you know, keep the heat in even more, so it might cause it to cure a little faster. I'm not sure. Oh geez, this is pretty thick stuff. So give me a second to try to lay this down. The countertop, like always, is not level. I do have a leveling board. I should dig it out, but it just seems like it gets in the way when I have it sitting right here. Oh my gosh, I've got plenty of resin left. And what I want to do, if I remember, is after this is cured and before we put the next layer on, I'm going to weigh this piece. And that can tell me how much resin I actually used for this, I'll call it the border, hey? Oh God, can we get in there? I don't even know if you can see me all the way over there. Now, if this didn't have the glue in it, I could just put that right down and not worry about it. It would find its way, but this is pretty thick stuff. And I did grab a couple of extra molds. I'm going to have to get them. Look at that big old glob. Whoa, speed it up, Billy. I have to wipe the edges off if I have to. Ooh, is that right there? I don't know why there's a blockage piece right there. Oh gosh, here we go. Stop, stop, stop. Let me pick that up. Ugh. My word. Well, what would Miss Julie say? Get a riddle on it. Now I'm going to try to move this out of my way because I do have a couple more molds here, and I'm going to top that off here in a second. See where it wants to go. I get totally messed up. It's kind of, see, that looks good. There's the clear is still showing through. Flakes are distinct between the glitter. So let me get this tray I have over here. Oh. And the race is on. I also have the Resiners spraying machine, the small one. I guess I'm going to have to move this. Isn't that going to be pretty? So not sure what kind of what color to do the middle of it, but let me just get these in here. Now these are those cute little cats, and I think they're pen holders or paintbrush holders. I think that'll fit with the lid on it. And the little heads here, the pig, the what is it? Got the pig, the bear, the cat, and the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in here. Oh, and the leaf in the tray, I just used some mica powders from Temu. That's all that was. What was I thinking? 8. I don't know what I was thinking. Those will be pretty. They'll definitely be gold. I've seen others use this mold. They're really cute. Get in your little ears. There's a little lip under the head. I'll have to get a micro brush or something and push that under. Whoa, did you see how fast that was coming? Yikes. It's getting a little warm in my hands. You need some glitter in your ears there, Missy. So I'm glad I put the glue in. Oh, a little overboard. Let's get this one. Again. On your tail, you need some gold. Oh gosh. Alright. I could have done a real big mold with all of this left over. think this is the most leftover I've had in quite some time. Now I colored the mouths of these little critter balls here, but I didn't put mica in the ears because it seems like there's always a hole. Bubble hole gets trapped in the little tiny ears, so I'm just going to leave them be. And I do have an idea as to what I'm going to do with all these little animal heads. That's going to need more. Alright, I'll keep going, and if I have to find another mold, I will. Well, the tray is ready for the back coat. I'm not sure as to what color I want to use, but before I do that, let's empty these molds because I want to possibly use them again if I have excess resin. So, oh gosh, I couldn't wait. Look at these cats. That is just gorgeous. Now, I don't see a face or anything, but you know, obviously it's a cat. It's really, really cute. I need to clean up the bottom of this one. I could have filled it a little more, but that's precious. That is so pretty. Let's look at this one. You know I'm a cat lover. Pull your little tail out of there. Oh, that's pretty too. I love how the flakes turned out in there. Just enough glitter and just enough flakes. Really, really cute. He's a chubby one. Now let's look at this one. I don't see the tail. Maybe it's curled up behind him. Pull that out. Oh, it's sticking up. There it is. There's the little tail. Oh, that's so cute. Now, I did get these molds from Temu, but I will look up some links and see if I can't find them. Is that his paw? Yes. Okay. Oh, they're so cute. Now, I really didn't want to have so many gold ones of these, but we'll see what we've got. There's the, I'm going to put in some rhinestone eyes. This is the matte mold. There's a little piggy snout, and the ears are broken. I think I might be able to UV resin that and fix that. I had some overspill here. Now this one is the cat. You barely see its features. And once again, I don't know what it is about these molds in the ears, but I can't seem to get, even poking in there with a toothpick or a micro brush, I still can't seem to get the ears right. And there should be a pig and a bear and a chicken. What's this one? Okay, this is the bear. Now his ears are fine. No, that's the chick because that's the bee. No? Oh, I've got him backwards. Where's your face? That's the bear. It's hard to see with the matte. But I can do the others here shortly. But I do have a plan for these. We'll do that in a different video. Okay, there's the little chick with the beak broken. Well, those weren't that great of a success. I'll open these later, but let's look at these leaves here. I wanted to look at these because I wanted to see what color green I used. That's got a gold tint to it in the actual tray mold itself, so that will help me figure out what kind of background. But you know, I'm tempted to go gold. Let's look at this big one. This is a keychain. I got that part right. Okay, we're good there. Now, that just has the gold background, or the glittery gold background. It still turned out pretty nice. That's sticking up a bit. But, yes, this gives me a better idea. Where's the other one I had like that? Oh, right here. Okay. All right. So apparently this is what the leaf on the tray will look like. Now to try to figure out what color background I want. I don't remember what greens I used. They were probably micas from Temu. And I've got a few here. But I want to do a solid color on the back. That might work. Do I have enough of that? Maybe that's what I put on the top. Bet that's what I used on the top here. That might work. It's got the gold in it to match up with, well, let's say that's our trim. I'm not sure. I don't really care for that. So I'm looking towards just a solid gold background, actually, with our flecks around the side. I think that's what I'm going to do. This is K-Resin Royal Gold. Now, you cannot purchase, it's been, my understanding, it's been a while, too. This came with some resin. This was a free gift, these K-Resin micas. So, last time I looked, they don't actually sell this product. But I was lucky enough to get some. But I think I'm going to go gold. This gold matches the flecks really, really well. And even if it's going to show up underneath the trim or the rim, it'll still be pretty. So let's go make up some resin. And hopefully I won't over pour it this time or make so much. And we're going to go with the gold. So I'm going to my back porch where I pour my resin. And I'll be right with you. Okay, I mixed up 12 ounces of Bond Crafters 2-part resin because that's what I used in the prior pour for the tray. Now, let me tell you, I wasn't sure how many ounces I needed. So I did a little calculating. Now, I know if you take, which I measured, the width of the tray by the length of the tray, that was 11, well, a little, give or take, 11 inches times 8 inches times the thickness, which was 1/4 of an inch, so that would be 0.25. If you times them all together, I got 22 cubic inches. Then I just Googled what is 22 cubic inches in ounces, and both sites came up with 12. So maybe that's just enough, maybe that's too much. We'll have to see. But first of all, let me just pour a little bit in this little cup here, and we're going to just mix in some micas before I put it in the big container. Just give me a little bit here. You know that's going to be, we're going to be need more than what it looks like because that's just a small container. So here is my royal gold, my handy dandy spoon, and I'm going to put, I think, well, that's a heaping double scoop. And a little more. That's a lot, but I want it dense. Now I'm just going to get a wooden stick here. I like my wooden sticks. I use them over and over again. Let me sit down a second. And I'm going to mix this up. Probably need more resin because I'll end up with a paste here. I think the concept is once you get the micas damp with the resin, you're less apt to have little mica explosions. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the Resiners debubbling machine. That's quite a bit. Alright, let's see what we have. Ooh, Look at how pretty that is. I don't even see any bubble explosions, but look at that. That's beautiful. What was that, about a tablespoon of mica I put in there? And you know, that should not disturb my cure. It's the liquid you have to be aware of. You don't want to go over 10% in your liquids when you add it to resin, or that will possibly mess up your pour. So I'm going to put this in the debubbling machine and get right back to you. I'll give it 5 minutes. Well, here's our tray. Boy, a lot of bubbles came up. I'm going to let that set aside a minute. Now, before I pour the second coat, I could either go around with my fingers or with a Q-tip or micro brush, but I think I can do it with my fingers, and I don't want to remove the seal. But what I want to do is go around the inside edges and feel for any pieces of resin in that edge, because if there's any there, I can feel a couple. I'm just going to try to scratch those off. They will leave a hole. They will leave a bubble mark in your piece, so we want to get rid of those. Just be sure you don't break that seal or it'll run underneath. We don't want that to happen. It's looking pretty good though. Just feel up here. Little piece there. If I can't get it off, I'll just get a Q-tip and a little bit of alcohol on it. I think we're good. Now there's an area here that the resin came up on, so I'm just going to get a Q-tip that I don't have right here on hand. How's that? Let me just get a micro brush, or maybe I can use my thumb, and I'm just going to try to scrape that off. Let's put a little resin on that. Just that one side. So I don't want the bubbles. You can feel it. I'll get a cloth and wipe that up, because that will show bubbles too. Other than that, it feels pretty good. I don't want to disturb my mica. There's a little bit right there, but it was mainly right there. So let me get a little piece of tissue here. I'm just gonna wet that with some alcohol and just wipe that off. There. Feel better about that. Make sure there's nothing else in the tray. This looks good over here. I'm sorry you can't see. I'm kind of limited here width-wise. Alright, so here's my beautiful gold. Still a few bubbles, but you know what? I can just spritz the top of that. And we're going to pour it in. And I do have some smaller molds to the side. I have some more of the leaves, and then I have some more of the cats. And I don't think I'm going to get as much leftover as I did yesterday. Goodness sakes, that was wild. Alright, I'm just going to pour, put it on my heating mat, and then I'll top it off, because I could let this sit a while, then move it over, but I'm going to go ahead and move it over. Look at that. It's a little translucent. Just let it go wherever it wants to. Well, within limits, let's put it that way. down to that edge. I hope those aren't chunks of mica that are dropping in there. I don't see them. You know what? That's going to be just enough, or just a little over. But I'm going to go ahead and move this to my heat mat. Watch for bubbles. Fill the other little pieces, and I'll be back with you, within a couple of hours. Okay? I'll see you in a short. Well, here we are. I'm ready to demold. This was on my heating mat for 2 hours. Then I turned the mat off, and they've been sitting maybe 2 more hours, or this has been sitting. So I turned my overhead light off because of the glare. It's that time of the day where my room is, the lighting isn't the greatest, but this is a beautiful gold. It is all set up, and let's demold. I guess I'll turn it that way. Let's see what we have. Let's see, am I in frame? Very good. I think gold was the right color. And I must say, the 12 ounces was perfect. I did not have 1 drop left over. So that was a great calculation. So I did take all the other pieces I molded with that 8 ounces yesterday, all these pieces. I weighed these out, subtracted that from the 8 ounces, and that tells me the actual ridge we did, or the outline in the gold and flakes and glitter, that was almost 2 ounces. So now I know. I'm going to write it in my book so I can keep track. Here is our beautiful tray. Let's see what that leaf looks like. Oh, lovely. Oh, it does indent a little bit, but there it is. So pretty. The only thing I'm going to do is, because on the back, guess what I found? A couple of hairs. So I've got this, I think this is an 1/8 inch thick cork. It's not the adhesive type, so I'm going to take my cork outside, spray it with adhesive, put it on the tray, and then trim it. Because on the back, I have, you can see, there's a hair. Oh, there's a couple of them. Here's over here. Normally, if I came across that situation, I would just take my carver and write my name over the hair. Camouflage it that way. But the edges are real nice. Maybe a little trim, but not much. I don't see bubble holes at all. That is gorgeous. Oh, there's a piece of glitter right down there. That's a nice tray. Very nice tray. The leaf turned out pretty. I put a little purple around the edges. And I was thinking, should I accent this tray with a little leaf like that? We don't want to put it in here because that's holding different items. And I didn't make a jar to fit in here. I think the next time I come across my jar molds, I'll find one that fits in this tray. But actually, I like the fact that this might accent the tray. Oh, look right here. It even has a slot here so you can, you know, pour that in the cup or your jar. But I'm thinking I like that there. Just the one, or the smaller one. Let's see. One of the two. I like the bigger one, actually. I think I'll glue this one in this corner here, and I'll just use E6000. And I cleaned up all of the little heads. Now, I didn't fix some of the ears yet, but I'll work on that. And then I have the keychain here. And then the little kitties. Oh, I love these kitties. So I'm going to do something with one of these. The one that I didn't fill all the way, it's a little, you know, it's a little shorter in height, but this would make the perfect brooch. I think I'm going to put a brooch pin on the back here. Maybe a little ribbon, a little bow, and work with these a little differently. These would make a brooch too, but they're a bit heavy, so if I poured some more for a brooch, I'd make them thin like this one. But there is everything we've done. I won't put you through putting on the back. I will get a piece of quart cut approximately this side, spray it, put that on, and if I wouldn't have had the hair on there, I could have left it plain, or I could have put bumpers on the back. But I'm going to call this one good, and I appreciate you all watching. Thank you, everyone. Most of everything I use is in the description box below. I also have a list of resin items that I use or that I keep on hand, and it's listed in my description too, with all the links for the different items I use, and I have a lot of discount codes, so be sure to check those out. Anyway, once again, I'm sending big hugs. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.